Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Memorable Stories with me, Sophie. If you love diving into the roller coaster world of marital dramas and conflicts, you've landed in the right place. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe for more juicy stories. Now, let's jump into today's tale to the subreddit r/AITAH, titled AITAH for Telling My Wife to Take Trump Out of the Family Prayer, shared by author Commercial Berry 9806. All right. Brace yourselves for a story that's more twisted than a pretzel at a state fair. Let's get into the intriguing world of a politically neutral husband and his MAGA enthusiast wife. Let's listen to the story. Let me start off by saying this is a throwaway account. It sounds a bit weird, but let me explain. I, 32-year-old male, am a politically neutral guy. My wife, 25-year-old female, is not. She is pretty hardcore MAGA, Make America Great Again, and has been since 2016 or whenever the last election was. She is quite vocal on Facebook about her views and sometimes says some scary things. One time, she asked my coworker to his face if he was documented. We literally grew up together in the Midwest, which I find funny. Anyway, I usually let it slide because it's not hurting me. Like I said, I'm politically neutral. Last month, however, she was putting our son, 5-year-old male, to bed one night, and after reading to him, she did a prayer before bed. Normal stuff like, please pray for mommy, daddy, grandpa, and Trump. When I heard her say that, I was confused as to why she was praying for just a guy who isn't in our family. I asked her about it very politely, and she went off on me about how he is persecuted and needs prayers to win the election and fend off the enemy and whatever. Again, I let it go because I normally wouldn't care. But now she seems like she is doing this to spite me. Even during the blessing before a meal, she adds, and bless Trump, amen, really fast before I can argue. Last night was the worst one, though. My father, 77-year-old male, had a small stroke and went to the hospital overnight. After I told her and my son, I did a small prayer for him. Of course, before I said amen, my wife added, and bless Trump. Well, this time I got mad. I told her she should keep him out of our family prayers and that this is our personal connection with God she is messing with by bringing in some weird old politician. Suffice it to say, she hasn't talked to me since. Am I really in the wrong here? Maybe it's not that big of a deal, but I feel like it's gone too far. Am I the asshole? So, I mentioned in my previous post that my father suffered from a small stroke the night before. Well, the small stroke was just the tip of the iceberg. Today, my father suffered a major stroke in the hospital and passed away last night. My whole family is devastated, including my wife. When I said a prayer over him, she did not say anything about Trump and was very respectful. After we got home from the hospital was where I messed up. We were getting ready for bed, and I thanked her. She asked for what, and I said for not bringing up Trump during the prayer for my dad. She immediately got mad at me about why I thought she was such a terrible person who would do something like that. I said she literally did it when we first found out he had a small stroke, and she said to me that it was before she knew it was that serious. I said that it was my dad, and of course it was serious to me. Then I really messed up and showed her the post I made yesterday to try to get her to understand. She read through all the comments and got even more mad at everything, of course. Long story short, she drove off to her friend's house and left me having to deal with my son and without a car. Later, she made this huge Facebook post about me and how I'm a terrible person. She said I made her drop out of college when I met her as a freshman in college and forced her to start a family with me. We met when we were 18 or older, and the kid was her idea, but whatever. I assume she got this idea from some of the comments about the age difference between us, so thanks. And then, of course, she says that I am against her and her beliefs and all the usual about Trump. I may update if something else happens, but whatever. Thanks to some of you for actually trying to help. I could ignore being called a troll, but apparently I'm a bad person for being politically neutral and basically a Nazi. I am not choosing a side on purpose to have less conflict because, if you can't tell, both sides are what caused the conflict. TLDR, my father died and my wife drove off and won't talk to me, but who cares because apparently I'm a troll, Nazi/groomer, or whatever. Now let's see what our wise and sometimes wacky audience thinks about this family feud. Maybe we should add a sprinkle of humor to lighten the mood. User Real Tony Snark comments. She says, "You're the terrible person when she leaves you and your son without the car over Trump? Dude, you need a divorce lawyer." User No Name Score 2024 comments. "I'm not going to address the political donkey or the elephant in the room. What I am going to comment on is your wife's total lack of compassion and grace. Even if she had been justified in her anger and hurt, it was totally out of bounds to put you through that the night your father died. That is a heart issue way beyond politics." User Adventurous Zebra 64 comments, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Dump her ASAP. She clearly doesn't give a flying fuck about you or your kid." Well, folks, what a story. It's clear that mixing politics and family can sometimes lead to a firework display you didn't sign up for. It's important to remember that mutual respect and understanding are key in any relationship, especially when opinions differ. My advice? Communication is crucial, but so is setting boundaries. And if all else fails, maybe a chat with a good marriage counselor, or in the worst case, a legal advisor. What do you think? That's all for today's episode of Memorable Stories. If you found this story as mind-boggling as I did, give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe for more. Stay tuned for more memorable stories that make you ponder, laugh, or maybe just shake your head in disbelief. Until next time, keep the drama on the screen and out of your life.